I can't see my nose.
Okay, great to see you all. I get fall 2021 Child Development Department meeting. Awesome. So let me share the screen and yeah, here we go. This looks good.
Well, you're doing that, Marion, can I ask you a question? Something that we did in the other school is the SLOs and the course is, do you guys know about that?
What specifically? We're always working
like
on
for SLOs and the course description have changed for the
so just I did have a curriculum piece in there, but just to answer your question, we are always working on SLOs and course descriptions, always. So for us, all of our curriculum comes from the CAP alignment project.
That's what, but yeah, I literally had to change all mine, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Well, of course, we're all on the same page because CAP chooses and we are CAP aligned, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing, because I did right. So like, for example, right now, our 107 is in curriculum, but nobody worked out this summer. So it's kind of like sitting there. Right. So we
are other classes.
Yeah. So we submitted it and everything's updated. But if you go into eLumen and access the course outline of record, it's not updated because curriculum's not in session.
I see.
So it's a weird kind of thing. It's like you can only really post what is in eLumen, what is approved in curriculum. However, there's like so many things going on the backside. I mean, Gina, what did we have? We had like 27 classes in curriculum review in the last 18 months out of
about that.
27 out of 36 or something.
Yeah.
So we're constantly moving and shifting that stuff around. The second it's updated, we'll let you know.
But wait a minute here. I'd like to hear what she is speaking about. What are you doing so that we can be on the same page? That's what we're doing, but I'm not so sure we understand what she's talking about.
Correct.
I mean, do we have 3 minutes so I can show you?
Yeah. Okay, show us what you're doing.
Share this? Can you make me a share?
Yeah, first of all, let me stop sharing and then I will make you like a co-host. We'll do that. And then
Let's see.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna make Janet a co-host so you should be able to share.
Oh, and Alicia too. I didn't see Alicia.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, I switched.
It says co-host on my side. So here at the bottom, your green button that says share screen.
I know. I'm gonna share you my emails, and I have to. It doesn't.
So my desktop looks like.
Can you all see my mail right now?
Yeah, we can see her.
Okay, let me just pick it up. This one right here. Can you guys see this? Move it over here. So this, I don't know if you guys use the same thing. That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
so
that's who determines curriculum for the entire state.
Okay, because so then they were all. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to make sure you're linked with this as well.
We've already done this. We did this last semester. It just hasn't gone through curriculum.
Oh, okay.
So we are ahead of, this is not new to us. This is what we spent last semester doing. This is from the CAP alignment project, which has the TPE curriculum. That's why we joined the Teacher Performance Expectations pilot program, because we are CAP aligned with the new CAP projects. In fact, we even have one transitional kindergarten, which I didn't see on here. So we've already done this part.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because it was a little bit off. This says evaluate the characteristics. Mine was describe and evaluate. I mean, they were all very, very close anyway, but I went ahead and did this. So for the class, I'm sorry, Monday, I just wanted to make sure that was something you wanted me to do, or do you want to put it back to add the.
Whether it's describe or evaluate, that's fine, as long as you have the evaluate in there. There may be some places where we've asked more than what the TPEs asked for, but not less.
Okay.
And you don't have to have the exact wording. You have to have substantially similar or like wording. So if
they all are perfect.
Yeah. So if you say define and evaluate, and they just say evaluate, then you're still the same.
Okay, but I just wanted to make sure. I end up changing. I wanted to say that that's okay because it's changed. I changed it. But it's not approved yet. Should I go back?
You can just leave it as it is for now. The students won't know it is substantially correct. And then once ours goes to curriculum, then you have to use what it is that's on ours.
Okay.
Okay.
So then
Perfect.
I do want to say something real quick. We do not have to share our course outline of record with the students. That is for us. That is the state developed curriculum. The students don't need to see all of the business that we have to see.
Right.
They don't need to see all of the stuff. And if you notice, like the format changed, right? Instead of having this grid of how many hours, it's really just a list now.
Right.
And so in the students,
Really, the only part the students are going to need, or that you can share with the students, is the SLO and the objectives as to what it is they are expected to get out of the class. But then those can be tailored to suit the class to make it a little more marketable, because you may not, if you have you may not want it as nondescript as this if you have a particular book using particular language.
and
So
if you notice, the objectives have come down a whole lot.
Yes.
Here's the thing, those objectives do not have to go on your syllabus either. That is for you to develop activities around.
Right. I just put the course description and the student.
course description and the student
SLOs.
learning outcomes.
That is it, right?
Okay.
So again, so the behind the scenes stuff is to guide us, but we also have that freedom to do it different ways, right?
Right.
And trust me, the students are going to tune out if there's too much stuff on there.
And then it also comes with a worksheet, and that's kind of
That's the worksheet to make sure that you're
The worksheet is for when you, as a person that's at the college, is aligning your course. This you do nothing with. This is nothing. When they align this, let me tell you the process. The person who's going to align, in fact, that's what we're doing now. I was trying to get this done over the summer, but because nobody works in the summer and curriculum hasn't gotten ours through for them to be able to see it, they could not do it. Because what's going to happen is the people at the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, they will actually go into our Illumin and they will use what we have posted as a course outline of record in Illumin, and that's what they're going to use this worksheet to compare what we've posted with. This is just so that you can make sure that when you put together your class that you have everything that they wanted, but we do nothing with this. This is nothing. I mean, if you like to have, if you just like to have busy work to do, then that's fine. But otherwise, this is not for us to, I mean, it's not going to help us to, if you're going to be writing curriculum where you're going to submit, then yes, because that'll make sure that you've gotten everything in there. But when you submit this to our program, you can't use this. This is only to make sure that what you have in your course outline of record is what's in the one for the Commission on Teacher Credentialing. So it's just so, but so we don't really need to worry about that one. The only thing we need to make sure is that everything that on the left, that's somewhere in our course, is on the right. And it doesn't have to be exactly that. It has to be substantially similar to that. And that's what the people do when I say that we're ready to have ours looked at by the Office of Teacher Credentialing. Somebody will go into Illumin, take this worksheet, and they will have on one side what it is that they expect, and then they will try to find what it is on the other side in our course outline of record. And that's why we didn't do it this summer, is because the new updated one has not gone through completely through the curriculum process to be released to the public yet, so they can't access it. They can't access it until it's finished the curriculum process.
So
and how long does that normally take, Regina?
Oh, well, depends.
Hey, your guess is as good as mine. It
takes
should.
a
I talked with forget the girl's name, in June and July. And in fact, I just got an email. I noticed when I go back.
Is it Anna Garcia or?
No, it has not. These are the people for the Office of Teacher Credentialing. Because I spoke with them over the summer, and that's why we're waiting, is until curriculum is back in session so that we can find out what it is that they have actually completed and they're released to the public.
So
and I won't know that till sometime next week when I go in and sit down with Anna and have her walk me through each one of these to make sure that what I put through curriculum probably 2 semesters ago is finally gone through curriculum and all the different places it has to go through.
Right.
All the 10 different places.
So like as an analogy, it's like Gina and I put together a casserole and it's in the oven right now. Right. We have to wait for it, and
we're really hungry and we're waiting for it to come out.
Correct.
Oh, it's even worse than that. Half of it is cooked and half of it isn't. So,
right. It's like, I'm telling you the amount Jody worked on some stuff with me too, and it's like it makes your eyes cross after about 7 minutes. You're just like, ugh.
There are so many different approvals and they keep coming back and
Yeah.
you think you're done.
Yeah,
and
like
there's nothing
10 or
else in the
12.
box. And then the next day there's workflow or whatever thing.
Like
And I
10
still
or
haven't
12
figured all that
different
out.
layers to each.
But if we're sister colleges with Santa Ana and they've already put it for them, why wouldn't we piggyback on them if it's already done?
Oh,
because-
really? Oh, you noticed that?
Because that wouldn't that be kind of easy? Just
Wouldn't it? It'd be
Okay, well, two things
dreamy.
on that. Our core 8 again, the cap alignment is really what we all align to. That's the point, right? Right. Everyone should be cap aligned.
Mhm.
But it's, I mean, optional. Well, we are both cap aligned now. However, we are on each of our curriculum committees have a different schedule in which to review. So we could have like 108 in the oven while they have 107 in the oven.
I see.
So, but we're all just waiting for the same outcome because the
Right.
alignment's already set for us at child development.
And
control.
to make it even more complicated, there's some of the things that we changed to be consistent with CAP and they did not. And so we're going to have to change the number of hours
Right.
because I am not going to not submit if it's not CAP aligned. So it's just a big mess, but that's just the way it is. And all you have to worry about is what you've got there will be fine. You don't need to worry about that. And your course outline, that's about all you need to worry about. And hopefully this next semester, we can get all the, at least for our part, all the stuff is supposed to go through the California Teacher Credentialing Office that we can get all that taken care of. We have about 10 classes that will actually go through the pre-K TK certification. And I don't think Santa Ana has done those yet.
So that's what Michelle was putting. There's cap classic, there's cap expansion, and there's cap
Let's
TK.
get TK. So we've actually got about 10 or 12 classes for CAP TK. One of the classes that won't have the same name is 120 A and B's because we're naming it for CAP TK. They still are going to keep it the way it is. But our curriculum will actually fit CAP TK because school age is TK.
Right. So
Right.
even if we use the exact same cap and we change the name, so we say TK and they say school age, we have to change the numbers.
Oh.
So we
It
will
has to be
have
exact.
yeah, so ours, I forget what the name of ours is. It's not called school age. It's for pre-primary children. That's what it is. Something of development for pre-primary age children, something like that. But that's what it's called for in the CAP alignment project. I use exactly the words that they use. I try to use as much of their verbiage as possible because it makes it easier for them to identify what is alike if we say the exact same thing.
Right. And so, and we sign up and we're jumping ahead a little bit on the agenda, but who cares, right? We signed up early for early adoption of as beta testers for the TPEs, for the teacher preparation expectations program. And we did that before SAC did because we figured we would need more time just to make sure we can iron out all the kinks. And so again, with us being a little bit ahead and then our cycles being off with each of our curriculum committees, it's a hot mess. And trust me, it's a thing where it's been like this for years. So it's just the TPE is just like another layer to the onion. We're adding layers instead of taking off layers.
Thank you.
So yeah,
You got one fat onion.
yeah, it's a really funky onion.
And just to make it more complicated, probably this next year, after we get this through curriculum, we will have several classes that will not be exactly as what SAC has. And because the only way we can do that is if somebody agrees to adopt exactly what the other person has, because the board requires that we do it that way if it's going to be substantially the same. They didn't want to do that, so
like for example, for 205, so we have 111 A and B, and we and then we have 116 A and B, right? And those like one is for preschool, one's infant toddler, and then for 205, there was no qualifier on it that said for special needs. And it was like, or the special needs child. I just wanted to put like 3 words on the end for it to be like specific to a group of people, just like our other classes are specific. It was, and maybe it was 205, 206, 207, something like that, where I just wanted to put a qualifier on it. It took a year and a half to get a response on an email. And then the answer was, oh yeah, that's a good idea. 18 months. So we can't sit on our hands and we can't wait. We have our own program, we have our own plan, we have our own movement. So there's things that we can do. So we're not, and it's not easy for them either to wait for us or us to wait for them. So we just stopped. It's just
curriculum is just complicated. That's just it. It's complicated, it's bureaucratic, and I have hated it for the last 13 years. I've been on the curriculum committee longer than anybody else in college.
It's like it's like a refi and a tax audit and a root canal, like all at the same time.
But you can't have a program if you don't have the right curriculum. So that's kind of the bugaboo there.
And we're not making it up. We're not making it up. We're the cap is out there for us. We've aligned a cap. That's their job. That's our job. We're just on a little bit different of a calendar. That's it, really.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, good. All right, so let me go back to share. And anybody need to jump in? Obviously, we're like jump in. What is a jumping group? So we talked about it. First of all, I didn't even acknowledge everybody for hanging in and being flexible. Things have been funky. I'm glad to see that everybody's safe and healthy and whatnot. And again, I wish I could say this is post-pandemic. It's not. It's peri-pandemic, and we're like in the middle of it. But again, the schedules, even for this semester, are still shifting. So Gina, want to talk about that? Because I think you have the most updated information.
Oh, it's all in my head, and actually, you have the paper because I didn't take it with me.
I did. Okay, this is what I know. So this is what I know so far. And I had mentioned it to the team before you jumped on. I just said our plan of attack is always to give you guys the classes that you are available to teach that gives a different format. So this semester, they suggested let's do some hybrid stuff, but the students aren't ready for that. So most of the hybrid classes are not filling. So our plan of attack is to either push back the start date or change the format to online. So, and I know that's not easy for everybody, but at the same time, we have to do the shifting thing to allow more people to fill the classes. So sometimes your first 8 weeks will go to their second 8 weeks, or your first 8 weeks will push back 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever like that. So thank you for being flexible. We don't have all the answers right now.
What class are you teaching, Alex? I'm sorry, you didn't get to say that.
Well, we have him slotted for 107, but it's pretty thin, but it's because it's hybrid and it's face-to-face on a Thursday night. Alex, you wanted Thursday or Tuesday? Because Alexi has like a Tuesday and you have Thursday. It's one of you guys. And so
Alex, I have it in a 4-week and 8-week both format online, completely online. If you need help, let me know.
Well, are you using the OER?
Oh no, not on that one. But I mean,
Right,
I'd be able to kind of switch it up, at least if he's never had any experience at all, and I can try to help him with it.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I'm still developing the OER version, so I want to hand that off. I look at it like, yeah, it would be easy just to stick with the old book.
Is this 107?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done 107 with OER for about a year now.
Right.
Yeah. So I have, and I have it in 8-week, 12-week, and 16-week as far as what's divided up on the syllabus. So if anybody needs that, well, let's talk about his class first. Then I think that one has been delayed till till September 9th or 13th. One of them.
Let me pull up.
Yeah, that's been delayed because we picked up 2 more students and we changed the format, I think. So anyway, so that's otherwise we'd have to cancel it. So we haven't totally 34, I believe it is, which is a class I was teaching. So that doesn't affect anybody. But so far, what I'm going to do is delay the classes that I can, either 2 or 4 weeks, and then that will give us more time to add more students, and then switch them to online because it seems to be what students want again this semester. They really, even though people said they wanted to come on campus, that's not what the data, that's not what the registrations are showing. Is that there are a lot of people that still are uncertain about coming on campus. And my guess is that's because of the Delta variant and also not knowing what's going to happen with the kids. Although they may be going back to school, how long is it going to last? And then, that's just going to be a bunch of drama.
Right. So Alex, I think you had like 4 people, now you have 7. So yeah, once it moved, you see right here, this one says online with scheduled meetings. It's still hybrid.
They're showing the agenda still, Marianne.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to show you guys all Web Advisor. That's why I think my audio is kind of breaking up. Let me do a new share.
What does OER mean?
Sorry, online educational resources. OER.
Open educational resources.
Open, you're correct.
Means your book is online.
That means that you don't have to pay for it. The resource is not copyrighted and you don't have to pay for it. A lot of times, the quality isn't up to where the ones the publishers are yet, but that's why we can add to it. the reason why we're going to use them is that most all the colleges are using these OER books, which are done by College of the Canyons, because they're free. And even though the content may not be all of what we want, free and spending $150 a book is really important for our students. And for, let's face it, a lot of students never even bought the book anyway. So even though the content may not be what we think it ought to be, it's better than either not having a book or having students spend $150 a book when a lot of them can't afford that.
Correct. So
Right.
Alex, imagine if a few professors got together and curated a bunch of stuff that was open copyrighted. So basically just search down until somebody had information that was content worthy, that was open sourced. And this basically.
But I do want to make one point here too, like Janet, I think you're still using the week by week book for observation. I don't like the open education book for observation. So here's what I would prefer to do is that if you agree, then I will see if I can get the money to purchase the books for the students, so they can just rent them and keep that book, because I think it's really important to get a good grounding in observation and assessment. And I'm not, from what I've seen of this particular one, I don't think that, I just think it would be better to stick with something, that is getting the breadth of observation that is needed, as opposed to one that will be there in 5 to 10 years.
I wholeheartedly agree.
So if that's, so I can talk with Elizabeth tomorrow. She did say she'd be willing to look at that. Then we can buy some books, because you don't change editions of that very often, do you? Maybe once.
Yeah, we're still in the 7th edition right now.
Okay, so I can look and see what the edition is, and we can just buy some so that the students can just, they can either rent them. I think it's what they were supposed to do, just rent them, or just rent them for little money, or check them out of the library. I have to be sure for her how to do that. And then that way they won't have to pay. I don't know how much is a book, do you know?
Well, the book itself, you can get it anywhere from 100, 125, 150 brand new. Then you can get them on, there's some used sites. But along with MindTap, if we go through MindTap, it's $80 and they get a digital book with that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
And the digital it ends after whatever, how many weeks the course
so
is.
it's better just to do MindTap.
Yeah, that's why I tell my students, because
Yeah.
they get a digital version.
Can
For
we give them
$80.
like an $80 gift certificate to MindTap?
What?
Can we give them like an $80 credit or
I
gift?
don't know. That's why I will need to check with Elizabeth. It
Yeah.
depends on, I don't know how the funding, because the money has to come from strong workforce, and it just depends on how they need the money distributed. I mean, there's certain things, like you can't buy lunch with certain kinds of money. I don't know if we're able to do that. So I'll have to talk with her tomorrow and tell her what it is that we need, and then we'll have to figure out how to do it.
Oh, I didn't do that.
And do you want me to talk to, I'm
I
pretty
did,
close.
oh, sorry,
I'm sorry, Jody.
go ahead.
I'm pretty close with one of the representatives from the company, and I'm wondering if I ask her if the college can give a credit. Is there any way we can lower that price from, and have her check into it? Because I literally talk to her every 8 weeks.
Yeah. Well, no, sure. You can always say, look, we're looking at how to decrease the cost for students. They all know what's happening, because that's hit their industry hard here, is that that's the reason why we have open education books, is because they're just too expensive for the students, and students aren't buying them. I mean, they're producing the books, but most students are not buying them. They're taking the class and winging it. And
Well, yeah, with MindTap, they have to take the quizzes and all videos. I created the midterm and the final, but the quizzes they take through MindTap, as well as all the videos.
well, we can keep
are
things as
linked.
they are for this semester, but that's
Okay.
what I'm saying we need to get to, because we're just trying to make it better for the students.
Right. And they have like a 2-week free period, and they always use that.
Yeah,
to
the
help
first,
people to come up
and
with-
also if there's another book that is with the same publisher, but it's Cengage.
It is engaged.
If they have another class that uses Cengage, then they can get both or 2 books for like $114. So they need to look into that. I don't know if you knew that, but if it's used for another class, it doesn't have to be a child development class. It could be any other class in the college. And then they can just get there's a deal that they have if you use more than one book. It's like $114 for two classes, which to me is a good deal based on
is.
paying for what you pay for one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When I ran 110 over at the at El Molino High School, they bought all the textbooks for the students and they just needed the student ID number, and they ran those student IDs through Cengage and got them all the books.
Mhm.
So it's not hard to do. It just takes knowing who's in there and getting them that information. At
Well,
least
it's a
that's what I
little
did.
different for colleges. The reason why they're able to do that to high school is because nobody in the state of California in high school pays for the books. So that's why. But
Right,
college
right.
is a little bit different, and I'm not so sure it's as simple as that, but that's a good idea. But I know that it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
high school you're in, and even if you go, that's why high schoolers coming to Rancho also get their books paid for, because nobody in the state of California that goes to high school, they get free books because that's the way it is. That's what the ed code is.
Right. And what Elizabeth did was use strong workforce money to
Mhm.
get all those students books.
Yeah, so that's what, so that I know. Anyway, okay,
Okay, so we
so
were talking about the schedule. Can you guys see Web Advisor?
Mhm.
Right, so we are like, for example, Alex has a class supposedly starting Monday, but since it's low, what was the suggestion Jeannie told him to push it back?
yeah, it's pushed back, but that's what I'm saying. You have the paper with the dates on it, the one with all the dates. I believe it was 9/7. I think I pushed that one back to 9/7. It's either 9/7 or 9/13.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. Okay, so did you write it on here?
It's on the, oh, you know what? It's on the email. You're right. Now, how am I gonna get that? I'm on here now.
Alex, if I were you, I would go through this class, hit it and get all those students. You have 7 on there right now. I would tell them that the class was moved back to, or does somebody from the office do that?
We don't know yet, so hold on to
okay.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so what Janet's suggesting is that sometimes if you have students on a roster, you want to grab their emails. And so if you're not sure how to do that, you go to the main menu and hit roster. I literally printed out 2 of my rosters and then the classes were cut, but at least I have those and I can even hand email those, because once it disappears off of Web Advisor, it's like poof, you don't even know who was in the class.
What I meant is if you're changing the date, will someone from the office tell those people that it's not going to start on Monday?
They're
Yes,
supposed to.
they will email the students, I believe. At least that's what they've already sent notifications to people that they've canceled 234.
Hmm.
Because I heard from a couple of them. So I can't see how to change this from here.
So on your, to drop yours out of full screen, hit F11 if you have an F11 key.
That's not, I'm out of full screen. That's not the problem. I don't seem to be able to get to my email from here. That's where I need to get to, is my email.
On the view, go to the top view and you should go exit full screen, and then you can go into your email at the bottom. So top right-hand side, that'll view, then hit exit full screen, and then your email should pop up at the bottom.
Well, it is if they're open here.
Right.
So Alexi, your first 8 weeks on your 107 is super, super duper low. And so since you have a second 8 weeks, 107, I mean, that one has time to fill.
Right.
But that's also hybrid. I mean, we've been trying to get you on campus.
That's what I know, but I think maybe it's best that I just don't.
Yeah, right. So push it to online, and if it fills, great. If it doesn't, great.
For the second half.
Second half.
What about for the first half?
What do you think, Gina? It's only has 6. I doubt it's going to get.
I doubt it's gonna get more than that. Well, we could push that one to another. That's what we were trying to figure out between the other. Got so many 107s, they're going to be falling over each other. Oh, I see. Now they made me change my password. That's the problem.
Can't you just email those students and tell them to drop and go to the next class? At least you'll have one.
Absolutely. But the thing is that if we tell them to drop the class and go to the other class, they will or they won't.
Right.
But if this is still sitting on the schedule, then it's confusing to them.
Well,
Sometimes they
16
just
's pretty-
you register for the same class, and it's like,
16 is pretty high, and normally the last couple of days people kind of are desperate for a class and will kind of jump in. So I think it might end up getting at least 18, if not 20 by Thursday. But the question is, should we keep it hybrid or do an online meetup? Because I think people don't want to do in-class
I
meetups.
think if we can move everything to online, I think that would be the most successful option.
Yep, I do too.
Okay, is that official? Should I email the class it's gonna be
Well,
online?
Dina already made a suggestion to the dean, so let's see what she's got.
Okay.
I'm
How do
trying
I
to
how do
think.
I find out, Marianne, for sure by Thursday if I should be on campus or online?
We will know most likely after we get a response to the dean, from the dean. However,
So I'm gonna bug you about the answer then. 'Cause
well, I mean, like, I'm around every day, so it's
Yeah.
just the thing is that, we can make a request and then sometimes it doesn't.
doesn't happen in timely fashion. Got it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm like trying to, how do I say that?
Well, just to show you that it's taken me 4 different times to tell them what what classes needed to be changed, and that was starting a week ago.
Yeah, last Friday we had a
Yeah.
master plan, we sent it forward, and then they were like, well, so what's your plan? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I sent the plan in and they go like, well, let us know when you want to stop. Just let us know when you're gonna do it. But for some reason, I don't be able to find the,
On your sent items.
I'm looking in sent items. That's what I'm saying here, but it's not coming up the way I can see it here.
So,
No, that's Datatel. That's in Datatel. I don't know why I'm got Datatel. I didn't see anything in Datatel. Monday. No, this is not the right fall enrollment.
okay, good night. I love you. Brush your teeth. I cannot come snuggle. I am in a meeting. I'll snuggle you after. Said no thanks. Starting high school tomorrow.
Oh, girl, I'm with you.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
like, I'm excited for you, but could that have been last Friday, please?
Well, I don't see any of this new updated stuff that I had here. So I don't know what the problem is with that.
We can send that later. I mean, like, so we're just giving you guys examples. Like, I mean, we'll know as soon as we know. I mean, I hate to be so ambiguous, but that's even my classes right now are still like 17, like, which is, that's not anything to shake it, but it was like 12 or 11 like the last day or two. So it's interesting. So I'm able to fill 2 face-to-face hybrids, but if we end up retreating to online, having a TRI semester again, so it's, it's a gamble. And
Well, I don't know about Lexi's, what the deal is with those. I think that, I don't know if we did anything with those because her classes were hybrids, but if we want to offer them at a later time, then they have to fall between the ones for the other ones that we have. That's the problem. So they're both 8 weeks and 8 weeks. So we would have to teach one 12 weeks, I believe, either 12 weeks or a middle of the semester 8 weeks, which would overlap the other ones.
right, because we try to give options at this point. So like, for example, Regina's teaching a second 8-week 107. So I mean, since yours is full up, Regina, we could just keep hers at a second 8-week, right? And then the first
No,
one,
we are going to keep the second 8 weeks. I'm not worried about that one. It's just the class for the first 8 weeks. So the first 8 weeks will either be a class that we won't offer, or we will offer it somewhere around, let's see, it has to fall. Well, I think we got a 107 starting 9/27, something
right?
like that.
But let's do it this way. Alexi, you mentioned you might want to break for the first 8 weeks.
Yeah, Gina, I'm starting this postgraduate school neuropsych program.
Yikes.
So I know.
So you're okay if the first class doesn't make the first 8 weeks?
I'm
and just keep the
okay,
second?
or if someone else takes it, I'm okay with that. I'd rather not have overlapping classes at this time because I'm nervous about this new thing. I'd rather just have the one at a time. So,
Okay, well, so why don't we just leave you then with the class that starts the second 8 weeks?
okay.
And then the one that starts the first 8 weeks, we will either cancel it or give it to somebody else.
Well, I think it's about the same as Alex's enrollment. So if we
I
can,
know,
first.
that will be what will happen. If we cancel it, then it will go into what Alex has, but we can't just put the people there. What we have to do is tell them what we're going to do and give them that option.
Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Perfect. And so again, thank you guys for your flexibility. It's been, yeah, so it's been a challenge, but yeah, in October, right now you only have 3, but by then you could have it full. So
Well, I'm not worried about that now because usually that one starts filling by the end of September or middle of September. And if it doesn't, we'll adjust then. It's the way life is.
I'm sorry, I forgot this part. Are we gonna make it online meetup?
Yes,
second,
Okay, great.
online only. All the ones that we change are going to be online only because it's just too unpredictable as to what's going to happen with the virus and the vaccinophobics and the maskers, anti-maskers.
Thank you.
So, and
And I have to tell you, most of my classes, I try to meet weekly or, you know, if it's an 8-week class, at least 6 weeks, if there's some holidays or whatever in it. But I have to tell you, my 108 that we only meet like 3 Saturdays, and I copy that from Shelby, it's her outline. I get people like this because they think they can do it in 3. And as an instructor, it's not 3. That's 3 that are on there, but I'm meeting weekly with them because you can't take a class, you can't take an observation class and meet 3 times. However, it gets them in is what I'm saying.
correct.
And then I'm like, okay, if you guys want to meet, okay, we're going to record this and you can go back and look at it, but I'm here for you. And then I always meet with them, always will meet at least once a week. So I just wanted to throw that out there so everyone would know
Right.
that, just in case if you want to get them in the door.
Right. So what
Like,
Janet's,
oh, 3 Saturdays.
Janet's saying, it's like, if it's on the schedule, you have to meet at that time. The rest of it is you can meet whenever you want. And I do like the recording feature because schedules are crazy. And, you know, I'll try to do like a 4 o'clock and a 6 o'clock and 2 o'clock and like that. And if it's recorded, they just come back to it or not. Their choice. They're adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's posted, you have to meet at those times. But if it says remote blended, you have all the freedom in the world.
Right.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I think as a student, they're like, 3 o'clock, 3 days, I can do this. No, they can't, but it gets them in. And that's what we want to do. We want to get them in. And we want them to be successful too, and they will be, but.
Right.
Okay, so what are the other? So the 110s, I think we took both of those are, I think I have one and Marianne has one, but actually Marianne ended up with both of those.
Yeah, so Gina has to give me one of hers because mine only has 13.
So so anyway, so that, and then the 111A, we just now, just so you know, I was extremely frustrated about that one. That was a mistake by the previous secretary who took it upon herself to not offer it this semester because last semester the class was low enrolled. What she didn't understand was it was Janet's class that had 25 in the last semester and 108 to determine that we needed a 108 this semester. And it took me explaining it, and Marianne could witness this. I explained it 4 different times, 3 different ways for them to finally get the data they needed to look at. Wasn't the other 108, 111A and 111B class. This is what happened in 108. And I was absolutely not too happy that this happened, but you know, once this happens, not much you can do. So what we're going to do now is Shelby is going to teach, if it goes, 111A, the second 8 weeks. And we'll teach 111B either in the intercession if we get enough people. If not, then we'll offer both of them next semester.
Right.
Now Janet has 108.
And she's got 24.
She's got 20. I don't know how many she has. How many you have? Yeah, 24. So
550.
And that's
yeah,
right.
what? Yeah.
550, Regina. I have
550. What I don't understand that other schools do that we can't do. Why can't we pre-enroll some of the students in some of these classes that we know that they absolutely need? That's like, why do we need to wait till next semester to know how many people are going to be taking 111A and 111B if we've got this many people in 108? Why can't we sign these people up for 111A and 111B toward the end of 108?
Do you want me to email all my students from last semester
Yeah.
and let them know? Okay.
Yeah, so let them know that we will be offering 111A And we will offer 111B either in the intersession. Well, actually, we'll offer it both times. It just depends on how many people take the class, whether it'll go. So we will offer it in intersession. And if we get enough people, then we'll have it in intersession. If not, we'll have 11A and 11B next spring, because we'll need to offer that anyway for the class that you have this semester.
And I will tell them, get in now. There's only a few slots left. Hurry up and get in. That normally will get them in. So we'll see.
Okay.
Right, I
And
do have to
then,
make a graphic to illustrate that 108 is the funnel for 111. 111 is not the predictor for 111. 108
Right.
is the predictor for 111.
Right. I'll email them as soon as I hang up tonight. I'll email them.
Okay, cool. Excellent,
Okay.
excellent. So
Okay.
again, so for Alicia's class, we're going to bump that to online and push it back a couple of weeks. And if you're, Alicia, if you're okay with co-teaching, I'm more than happy to do that. Your first semester out, it's a lot. Your very first semester on the team, even though you're trained, it's a lot. So if you're okay with the co-teaching and we push it back a couple weeks, I think that's a nice little buffer.
And so that doesn't, my only question is like, I mean, if it's co-teaching, I'm sure you will, it's co-teaching with you, correct? And then you will just guide me in terms of,
We'll split the work. I'll give you the hard stuff.
oh, okay, good. And then it doesn't push back 2 weeks. So you're just going to double up chapters.
Yeah. So you kind of look at like the scope and then you go, okay, well, these kind of could like, and then
Okay.
there's like the Thanksgiving weekend and that needs to, yeah, you get a little shifty after a while. It's like
instead of starting 8/23, it's not going to start till 9/13 to 9/20. I can't remember which day it's that I changed it to, but that's what you mean by pushback. You're still going to have the same amount of work to do. You just have less weeks to do it in.
Okay.
right. So basically when you make the semester, that class smaller, the work just gets a little bit heavier,
Okay.
right? So 16 weeks is this amount of work and 8 weeks is double, right? So somewhere in between, it's a little like tumblers twisting and then you kind of like get it in. Yeah, it's interesting. I say you sit down with your like outline your syllabus and then you sit down with the calendar and you start like putting it together and then it works. And then
Okay.
if it doesn't, you adjust it as you go, like, so yeah, it's a little, it's experiential learning, shall we say.
All right. Okay.
I think child as victim, I think I delayed that a week or so too, because it has actually got more students since the last time I looked at it. It's got 8 students, but that's right after Labor Day, correct?
Yes.
I think maybe that one is going to be 9/13 or 9/20.
Yeah, Labor Day is the 7th and 8th is Wednesday.
Yeah, so I we'll send you the date, Jody, what date that it would change to see if we get more people in it for
Okay.
that particular date. And just
Here's
so
what it is.
yeah, and
I
then
I would suggest real quick on the 220. Obviously I'm a big fan. Janet asked, remind your students that is an option as well, because trauma and resilience is not an option anymore, especially with observation and assessment, right?
So there's no prereq on that?
No, not at all.
no, but it will be. It's just a
Yes.
matter of time.
Right. But same with my the 205 students, we'll talk to them about like, okay, so as we're learning about special needs, like trauma and resilience is a huge part of that pie. So, those are good classes. It's a good class to be at the same time.
And by the way, that is one of the areas that the CAP updating requires that goes into all of the classes from 107 to all of them somewhere is addressed in terms of, whether you're dealing with special needs or child, family, and community, not just as child as victim. What they want to make sure is that in any one of these classes that students get enough information to, to be able to support and to help kids, even if they haven't gotten to take child as victim yet.
Right.
So that's one of the areas, that and diversity and culture are the other 2 things that they want added to all of the different programs, specifically addressing some of the differences in development or even things about growth and development. I think one of the things I'm going to do in 107 is I'm going to have people trace the history of breastfeeding. There's some really interesting racially important information about breastfeeding and wet nursing that will surprise a lot of people. So, but I'm not going to tell them the answer because that'll run the thing.
That's right. And the trauma involved with that too, right?
Yeah, there's trauma involved with that too. But
That's
But anyway,
That's great.
but there's also another thing which I discovered. I don't know if any of you have seen that, is that I got this from 0 to 3, I believe it is that looking at the developmental milestones, that by what age you expect children to master, say, feeding themselves, dressing themselves, playing alone, all of that, they are culturally determined. I mean, just we think that kids should be able to feed themselves by X, Y, and Z, but there's some cultures, even 4-year-olds are not expected to feed themselves. And so if we run into those children in our programs, we might think that they're behind or development delayed or some other issues, when really it's a cultural norm, especially if male children in some cultures actually are spoon-fed longer than females. And so I thought that was really interesting, because I never thought about it. I just thought that everybody did. I just never thought about it. But that was interesting. So
Did you want to talk a little bit more about the apprenticeship program, or do you want to have Jody jump in with the CDTC?
well, it's running kind of late here now. Why don't we have her jump into that, and I'll say that at the end. So
Okay.
the CDTC is probably more important.
Because she's in Minnesota. She's 2 hours ahead. So let's get it.
So applications for new permits opened up August 1st. We currently have no system for tracking students once they are supposedly in 111 A or B. They're supposed to apply for their permit. We have no system for tracking those students, and they tend to fall through the cracks. So I'm basically looking for the data for every student who has completed 2 child development courses, and I'm going to be strongly encouraging them to get the assistant permit before it disappears. And they aren't able to do that, and then developing the tracking system for that. I have not heard yet. We have a training later this month, but I have not heard yet whether they're still giving a stipend for the fingerprinting cost. The other piece of that is working with Strong Workforce to see if they will possibly pay the fingerprinting fee and then reimburse the college directly for that part that they do reimburse, so that we don't have students having to lay out. They have to lay out some money, but they don't have to lay out as much. I think it's important that they have buy-in to professional development, and Gina and Marianne and I have talked about that to some extent. But I think the biggest piece is getting our students enrolled. Last year, we're capped at a certain amount. Last year, it was $3,500 that we had to disperse among the students. And this year, they have to be child development. They have to have on their transcript that they are child development majors. Not every major can apply anymore. They must be child development majors. So if you have students in your class who are not declared, have them switch their major if they want to get the funding.
Even temporarily.
Temporarily. At least for a semester.
Okay, because we had some of the people in the Pathways to Teaching program that had other degrees for teaching that were taking the classes because they were working in child development centers. They actually got the funds. So you're saying they will not get them now unless they are declared child development majors?
Absolutely. They have clamped down on that. They want the money to go, and they've actually increased the stipend to something like, it went up huge. It was $46 a unit minimum, and it went up to, well, depending on how we decided to divide the money, but it's gone up to, I want to say like 70 some dollars. It went up, big jump.
Wow.
I don't have the information in front of me. It was a huge jump. And so bottom line is, I'm just going to be working to get the students into the system and track them as they go through.
Well, I
So
will talk with Elizabeth, but I think Quinn, the registrar, might be able to help us with figuring out some way to capture the data of where they are and how many classes they've taken. So let me speak with Elizabeth and see if we can get Twin to help us with that.
Right, that'd be great. And then I'll work with contacting the students and walking them through the process.
Excellent. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the TPE, so should we just give them an update on the apprenticeship program?
Well, we can finish up with the TPEs. Right now, what I just got another email today about submitting the Appendix C, which is just an assessment of our program of the things that we have to change. It's just kind of our assessment of what we need to add. We've already done most of the work. That was what we added to the course outlines of records. So we need to submit that to the state, and I'll do that tomorrow because now somebody's there to receive it. And then we also have to choose. I think I decided, well, the latest that we could start saying that we're going to be using the format that they lay out is for the classes, for the class of 21, 22. So we'll be actually starting this fall. So but that's just that's just paperwork. So I've taken care of that. Apprenticeship. I'm going to be taking part of my load this semester will be writing the proposal for the apprenticeship program. The chancellor and the college president and the VP of instruction are all now jazzed about apprenticeship. And so they say that there's money. We have gotten, I think, 3 or 4 employers who said they were interested in working with us for apprenticeship. I did not get anything accomplished this summer, although I did try, and nobody responded back to me from the Bureau of Apprenticeship and Standards, which was our San Diego office. But the people in the San Diego office are the same people in the LA office, but nobody answered. But so I'll be taking care of that, writing the actual program of what it is that we'll be doing for apprenticeship. So if anybody, Jody is probably the one I'll be hitting up with that, since she's worked with a program that's had an apprenticeship program. But other than that, that's one of the things that I'll be doing, is working on that.
And just moving forward, so yeah.
So we'll be moving forward with that, which will be real exciting. And we'll be working with our 9-credit section because they have a program to get the hourly certifications that students will need to be able to work in special needs programs. And then we'll also have to identify special needs places where they can actually work. And we'll probably be speaking with Alicia and Darcy to find out what types of if you're interested in having interns, which is what these people would be, what it is that you believe they'd be able to do. And so therefore we'd have to write that into the curriculum. So it's a whole lot of pieces there, but we're fortunate to have a lot of experts on our staff already to help us do that. So
yeah, really excited.
But anyway.
Good. So you may have seen emails about the new professional development flex credits tracking. So also when I send you guys, this is a hyperlink for the Vision Resource Center. Poke around there. It tracks your professional development. We all have flex load that we all have flex credits that we have to do every semester. It's still there's still a few bugs in the system, so just be patient with it. I think it's great. SAC always has been capturing those credits for a long time, but now all the community colleges are in one system.
I love it.
Yeah, and there's like on-demand classes. There's a huge library, so you can take a 45-minute whatever, and it's in there.
You could put in what you want, what you want to learn about, and they'll start sending you information on them.
I love it. Yeah, I was
It's
really
awesome.
happy about it because I don't have time to do all this stuff when the time with all that stuff shows up, right?
Mhm.
But
And this is all tracked directly by the state. This comes from the chancellor's office. So this is not something that's housed locally. This is I think it's AB 1735 is the legislation that says that we're supposed to be doing this, that a lot of people have been lax in doing their professional growth, but this is the state legislature cracking down on making sure that they can, other than it being a good idea, the reason behind it
Yeah.
was to give more credibility and accountability for people who are supposed to be doing their professional growth, and some people did, some people didn't. So
well,
I always did way
will
too
you
much.
be-
So.
Will you guys be putting in the meeting from tonight? Because that wasn't in there.
I don't know if we can do just department though.
I
Yeah,
think
you're
we
supposed to.
can't. It was listed at the bottom of. It was listed on the form that we got. It was listed on there. It was listed on, I think, the second, third page. We can ask. We'll ask either. What's the lady's name who was helping us with it?
The one at SAC, Amberly.
Amberly?
There was somebody but it was designated for our school too, and I can't remember who.
I
It's
don't
from
remember.
Denise. I think it's in Denise Foley's office.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll find out. Let me write
Okay.
that down. We'll find out. But that's a good question. I know it's possible.
I couldn't sign up for the actual department meeting either, so I want to make sure we get credit for it, because it's hard to get, when you're teaching a lot, it's hard
No,
to
I
get
agree,
all-
but listen, I went to like academic senate something, and then I didn't sign up for it ahead of time, and at the end they emailed me and said it was added to your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so
can.
You can do it after.
they
Yeah.
can add it, and there's places where you can add things that are not in the system too. So maybe, so I don't know, but I'll ask because
Right.
we need to know that. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so the only new items things, if Jody wants to give like a couple sentences on the resilience focused initiative, the department newsletter is not a big deal, but I definitely want to hit the resilience focused initiative and then kinda wrap
Yeah,
it up after.
we were invited to write the narrative for one of the 3 quality focus essays areas that they're going to be working on in over the next, it's a 5-year grant, it's a 5-year period until we're
Part of
accredited again.
accreditation, yeah.
And so it's part of our college's accreditation program. And I was personally super excited that the trauma piece and I think we really won Aaron Volker over Dean of
Institutional effectiveness.
institutional effectiveness. And he was really blown away by some of the data that we were able to forward to him. And I looked at it, and I looked at the final version of it, and it was essentially what I sent him. So it was really great what we worked on. So it was really nice to see that. And I'm anxious to continue to hammer away and move forward on it.
Yeah, so ultimately, the goal, the long game is to create a culture shift at SEC for trauma and resilience. So it's not just a concept, but it's a part of the culture. And so it's got to start somewhere. She wrote the basically lit review last May. And then, so it's kind of like moving forward. We don't know what it looks like, but it's really exciting because it does align with, child development and things like that. So I'm really excited that we're becoming more credible, and that's been such a challenge. We've always been credible inside our pocket, right? Preaching to the choir, but now, others and vice presidents and deans and stuff are like, oh, hey, wait, that's part of child development. And that's important. Yeah, always has been.
And the care team and everything.
So lots of
It's
different
just
moving pieces. So I just, again, thank you, Jody, for all your diligence on that. And again, it's interesting moving forward when there's no clear, where are we going next, but we're just creating it. And so, yeah, I know
also, while I'm thinking about it, our colleague in education retired. So we've inherited the education program as a part of child development like they have at SAC.
Right.
So
yeah, that's new as of today.
So we've inherited the education program. So we will be known as Child Development and Education Studies.
When is that going to happen?
That already has happened. We were just informed. They decided and told us. So
Nice.
So it's no more voting that has to be. That was an administrative decision over the summer.
Oh, well, fantastic. Yeah, I knew that they were going to come over. I thought there was going to be more to it to actually make the name change.
No, we have to figure out how to make it work. My guess is it's going to take a while for the transition to look more like a transition because the people have been housed over in counseling. And I think that one of the ladies is going to stay the pathways part, where they have all the little activities, whatever. That's going to stay located in counseling, but the classes and the actual nuts and bolts of the program will be under career and technical education. And that's actually a win for them because now they get to use Perkins funds and the workforce money to support some of their programs.
And the new chair used to be a kindergarten teacher. So we have an advocate there.
And for us, it's beneficial too with the new CAP TK courses that we are offering. Those are actually under child development, but they'll probably have more credibility if we're aligned with a program that also has education studies program. I got calls from 3 people, actually teachers over the summer, who wanted to take courses that were pre-K or TK because they were told that they won't be able to teach those classes in their school districts unless they have child development courses. They have their teaching credential, but they don't have any child development courses. So that's why we need to offer the TK program, the TK classes for those particular people for their job. Okay, there's a lot going on.
No, I think,
Yeah.
and I think we're good because we don't really need to talk about a newsletter that came up in the advisory board meeting, and I just put together a template. So if you guys ever have something that you want to get out there, I'll send it out to you guys just to look at it. It's not a big deal. I just found a template on Prezi. I just want to make sure that we have different sections like the TPE, like a column in a little newsletter. So for the advisory board, they kind of requested it to come out quarterly. So if I can keep the template the same, I can fill in content rather quickly. So I'll send that out with this, and so you guys can look at it. And if you have any suggestions, just let me know. It's no big deal.
We have a new college president. She seems pretty nice and fair. That's all I know. I met her today, along with her wife, and we'll have her tomorrow at our convocation. I don't know if anybody's able to attend in person. If not, you can attend by Zoom. So anyway, so that's that. And your questions or comments or other things you need me to find out about for you.
Just Al, I just want to make sure, I don't know, Alicia or Alex, if you've ever taught it at other colleges before, but when they talk about professional development, do you understand how it's created? It's 1.5 hours of PD for every unit you teach. So when it's, for instance, I'm teaching, I don't know, like 9 units this semester. So I need 13.5 hours.
Right.
And
But
it doesn't seem like a lot.
But that's calculated at the Vision Resource Center.
It is calculated, but I didn't know if they knew that you have to, like what Marion's saying, as a new person, I didn't know how to do everything. So I just wanted to make sure, Alex, that you knew that you had to go in and.
Yeah. So
No, I wasn't aware of that.
yeah.
And
So
you have to do it.
And then I'm just clicking on it right now. So it's a login. It's from the California Community Colleges system. And again, I prefer that when it's all aligned.
It's so
like
nice
that.
because it's every
not
school
just
you
by
work at.
district, because
And
then
by
you
the
know
way,
what-
the login you need
Yeah,
to use is your last name _ first name, and then the password that's associated with that, like your two letter and number thing. So so you need to use, like mine would be Lamarella _ Regina, and then whatever the password is, which they made me change today. I was so mad.
So this is a little different. Mine was like.
I've only had it 10 years. That's how come I know it.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Of course.
Sure.
Still?
Yeah. Let me click off there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just to show you mine super quick. Just to show you kind of what it looks like. Oh my goodness, where is it? I'm just going to go back to the cap lines because I have it up here at the welcome. So
Yeah,
this is
that's
what it
good.
looks like right here. And see, it calculates for you. I have to do 13.5. These are all what I have open that I have. Being a new person, you want to go up here to home and you don't click them. You just scroll over it and you want to look at learning workshop calendar. When you go under the calendar, it tells you every single workshop, all the dates. You can click on it. What I'm taking tomorrow again is this Introduction to Professional Development Gateway. And that is a training on this. I've already taken it once. You could take it 100 times and I need to get 13 hours in. So I'm actually going to take it again because there's a couple questions I have now that I've been playing with it, but you can take it 100 times if you need to.
And then there's also
nice.
like an instruction manual that comes with when you register.
Right. So like here.
Just play around with it because I've never known anybody in child development to not make their flex obligation.
Oh, really? See, I'm gonna, but yeah, so
We always do so much.
Yeah, you're right. So like see, I have 5 hours, but I'm doing like 100 tomorrow. So, but
you have the entire year.
These are due next year. This covers the school year, not just the semester.
I thought this is per semester.
No, it's the school year.
Is it? Because I thought, this 13.5 is for spring, for this coming semester. I think every semester you have to do
But
it.
how many classes are you going to teach? 2?
3. I'll have 9 units.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
It's every semester. That's why I always like freak out. And they only give you 1 week.
But it's not due till April. They don't rectify. As far as I know, it's not per month or per week. Like
right.
take a breath. You're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I always try to get it before the starts, all the classes. That way I know I'm done and then I go in and enjoy it. But yeah, anyway.
Right,
I
right.
usually have 60 to 80 hours, so I've never paid attention as to how you get them because I've always had too many.
Or do them in
Nice.
January when you don't have a class.
I'm
I have 2 classes in January.
Alicia, jump in.
just for clarification, so is it like continuing education if for your licensure, like if you have a license for continuing education, so it's just a proportion of whatever the amount you're teaching, you proportionally
Right.
need to
It's a
have.
calculation based on how many.
And this is just a system where I can go and click in and learn something and it keeps total. You just
Right.
need proportionally, and you have at the end of it, like 2 months, it sounds like after semester to complete what the requirements are.
I
Mhm.
believe even if you only taught one class right now, they don't, in the past, they've said, well, okay, so you're teaching in the fall.
If you have a 3-unit course, you need a total of 4.5 flex hours.
Yeah, it's over here under
Okay,
part-time.
it's at
We're
the bottom
part-time.
here. And that includes, say, if you want to come to convocation tomorrow, that includes that. Any of those types of meeting or stuff like that. So
We'll try to register this meeting, which is.
Well,
our-
and the department meeting should too. So the department meeting was 1 hour and then tonight is 1.5 hours. So you got 2.5 hours right there.
Yeah.
Once they put it in.
Right.
They did
Yeah.
take rules.
So it is a new system. So yeah, we'll figure out how to add. It shouldn't be that hard. And then we can add after the fact. So
So this is in addition to Web Advisor.
this is a whole separate system.
Okay.
yeah.
Will Alicia and myself already be in the system? Like, or do we have to create a new login and stuff?
If you are in Web Advisor that you have a class, until that class is disappeared, you are in the system.
Now you're in the system. That's why I said you just need to use your college email.
Right. That's what it is. It's your college email and then it's your password. It's
password.
not the JD blah, blah, blah. It's your actual password.
There's password that you use with that, but not
Your email. With your email. Whatever your password is with your email, that's this account.
That the password for Canvas or the password for Office 365?
It's
Canvas.
your ad,
Canvas.
your SEC one. Yeah.
The same as Canvas. Yeah, the same as Canvas.
And another thing I just found out that if you want to keep any of your past, I don't know, we always did it on paper, huh? There's not really, we always did ours on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. But this is nice because it'll keep it for like forever. So for instance, to
And
just
you know
show
what?
you.
You know what
like my
else too?
transcript-
I don't know if this interferes with, interfaces with the California workforce registration. I have to look at that because all of us are going to have to get registered for that. That's another bit of bureaucracy coming. So I'm pretty sure that some way this connects with that.
Alex is my coach. Alex does it because I'm QRS rated and all my people had to be on workforce to go through training. So Alex, is this attached or do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, we had to find out because that's one of the things we have to do for the TPE because they're trying to get everything all coordinated and whatever. So we have to figure that out. So maybe you can help me figure it out.
Are there any other systems besides these three? And maybe
like,
the fourth
Don't
now
surprise
that
me with
we
you.
need to know? I'm sorry, that might sound
Are you
stupid.
feeling a little overwhelmed?
That's a great question, Alicia.
So look at it this way. Look at it this way. Canvas, they call us a student management or learning management LMS, right? That's how you administer your
I
classes.
totally get it.
Right. But the enrollment is Web Advisor. And
I
I'm sorry
totally
to
get
tell
that.
you, they're transitioning to a new system. So the second you learn Web Advisor, that will disappear.
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right?
Well, that bridge is going to be crossed before the end of the semester.
Well, there's already both systems are already in place. And so Web Advisor will tell you the enrollment, but if you need to add a student, I can walk you both through that. That is a completely different system.
That's a system that will be once Web
But
Advisor.
it's under Web Advisor, you click it and it gives you, it hits,
Nope,
it shoots
Nope,
you over
nope,
to it.
Nope, Janet, we have a different system here. We have two systems.
What's
my
the
gosh.
name
Hold
of
on.
Web Advisor will be what?
It is currently on our regular SEC homepage.
Where's
And
my
it's
Web
called
Advisor?
self-service.
Self-service.
Yeah.
Yeah, but self-service you can
Mhm.
access through Web Advisor right now.
It's connected, but they're two separate.
Yeah.
systems.
I'm just trying
So-
to find my,
So just to clarify for like a freshman over here, we're starting in Web Advisor, and by the end of the semester, Web Advisor will transition over to a program called Self-Service.
They are, they've been,
Self-service is right there now. It's
they've
just,
been concurrent for 2
Yeah.
semesters.
yeah, they're together there now.
They've
So
been-
I think they're side by side. Are they side by side?
Mhm.
So Janet, I'm gonna show them because it's, I need to
Oh.
show 'em from my side. Okay, so stop your share,
I was
right?
just gonna log in. You got it?
But I want to show them a different way because SCC's looks a little different even if you're outside of Web Advisor. So can you?
So I had thought down here, when you add, and then it takes you to the different, it takes you to it.
But we have
have
it
a new
on
one?
our main website. So if you're not in Web Advisor, you can still access it without being in Web Advisor.
Okay,
Right where
perfect.
Canvas is.
So I'm gonna go ahead and show it what it looks
Perfect.
like.
Let me stop sharing.
Yeah, please. And then, so our regular website to everything, right? So even if you're not, it's there, it's just sitting here, self-service.
Mhm.
And we can do this at a different time because you don't need to know all of it right now, just Web Advisor for now,
Mhm.
right?
And
Alex,
Web Advisor is something we can get on with our school email and our Canvas login.
So
So
Web
this,
Advisor is one thing, Canvas is another, right?
so
Yeah.
this is,
No, you don't use your email, you use your
The
ID.
only,
your-
Oh,
yeah,
your ID. Okay, thank you.
does that, the upside to self-service is that it actually connects our own HR with it. So they're trying to put everything, they're trying to put enrollment in one, our HR in one, like admissions and records, like all of it's going to go into one instead of having different systems. And I don't want to even go down the rabbit hole right now. Let's just know that that's where this is. I will walk you through it.
Thank you.
And if we're co-teaching, then I'll show you how to do it, or
We'll
I'll,
do it. Yes.
and I'll give you the
It's
hard
really
stuff.
easy once you get to know it.
Yeah, everything is like, come on. Like, it just takes a minute. Everybody's got a different learning curve. And so it's,
No, I have no problem. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah,
I think,
that I don't know about.
I think that's it.
It'd be nice if we had a binder. You are new. Read this and you will know
Well,
everything.
technically there is one that I'll see if I can find, because it just showed up on the division meeting, just like was on the agenda for tonight.
yeah.
So I'll check it out first, because sometimes it's only for full time versus like, but I'll check it out and then I'll let you guys know. So that you like, I know there's a lot, but the reason I don't tell you everything right at the beginning, because it's like, you don't need to know because it's overwhelming. Right. So just like one thing in it, like
One slice of
and
pizza
learn
at a time.
yeah, you learn
Yeah.
learn as you go. Okay, so I think we got through the agenda, and the rest was just
Thanks.
like, hey, if we have a monthly meeting, because Gina and I meet several times a week. If we have a monthly meeting, if you guys are ever interested in coming, you're welcome to come. We want to make sure that you guys have a voice. If you ever have any questions, you guys have our cell numbers, email us, anything. If we don't know, we'll find out. I mean, but thank you. Everything's moving so much, so quickly, so sideways concurrently. So thank you for being flexible. And I'll update you, and we'll let you guys know how the schedule's changing. By tomorrow, they do like to make some changes, and we should know by tomorrow. It's a convocation. So in the morning, everybody's in a meeting, so it's not like they can actually do anything. So if it's not done before convocation, you have to wait till the end of the day. But we'll let you know. I'll be on campus.
We both will be on campus.
Okay, good. It's a lot, but thanks for hanging in. And hopefully, every semester has looked so differently for the last 3 or 4 semesters. It's hard to predict what next semester is going to look like, but just, one day at a time, everyone, just one day at a time. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's midnight almost, or was it?
No,
11
it's
o'clock for
9.
you?
I'll see if I can
No,
walk
for
you through an hour and a
Jody.
half.
For Jody. How time is it for Jody?
2 hours.
11,
Yeah.
See, I am right.
but I'm a
Feels that way
late
for me.
person, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's been on grandma duty, so she's extra tired.
No, I
Well,
need
anyway,
tomorrow.
well, does anybody else have anything else? If not, then I'll bid you adieu.
My my kid's asleep. My dog's like, "Where are you, mommy? And why is there fireworks going off in our neighborhood?" So yeah, I gotta go.
Bye, you guys. Have
Thank
a
you
good
guys,
semester.
and
Bye, good night.
and
Good luck, everyone. Fill in your
Thank you.
Nice meeting
classes.
everyone.
and good luck, Alexi. Tell me all about it. I'm excited for you.
I
Yeah.
will. I'm excited too.
Neuropsych. I was like, that's
Thanks.
it. Okay, thanks so much.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.